Celeb Savant is a career retrospective type interview focusing on singers, actors, and industry experts. Join Barrett Edelstein now as he dives into the entertainment world.
Dante Sklaw is an up-and-coming rap hip-hop solo artist based in Surrey in the United Kingdom. His alternative style has gained attention with his sixth release, It's a Trap, receiving 1 million views in a matter of days. He has now amassed a total of 9 million plays on his SoundCloud profile. Up next on Celeb Savant, we've got Dante Sklaw. Dante Sklaw, thank you so much for joining us on the Celeb Savant podcast today. So tell us, where do we find you in the world and how are you doing?
I just Google Dante Sklaw. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube, all platforms, all digital platforms. So that's Apple Music, Spotify, TikTok if you want to go that way about it, Amazon Music. I try to make sure I get a broad spectrum of all the platforms I can for the best amount of exposure, really. And obviously with promotions, Instagrams, Dante Sklaw, Twitter, Dante Sklaw. You know, they don't call it Twitter anymore; they call it X. X, yeah, that's the one. Twitter, yeah.
It's Dante Sklaw, correct?
That's the one. That's correct. Yes.
Yeah. And you're based in the UK now, London.
Yeah, around Croydon, so South London.
When I was living in the UK, I was living in West Croydon.
Oh, West Croydon? No way. That's just up the road.
Maybe we passed each other when we were in the streets. Who knows?
we could have passed each other many times without even knowing it.
So Dante, let's rewind. At what age did you realize, cool, you want to be in the entertainment music world? And how did that journey progress to where we are today?
I started doing music when I was 4 years old, playing the drums. So I've been playing the drums since I was 4, going into high school, so like secondary school, picked up guitar, piano, bass, joined a few bands, played as a drummer, went and did gigging around London in a lot of places. Due to discrepancies within the band and like the whole idea of trying to manage a whole group of people was like being a psychiatrist at the same time. So really, I decided I was gonna, part ways and do my own thing. You know, I went through a lot of problems. I had some problems with people I knew, and I'd never written a song before. And then when I was 18, 20, I wrote a song and I just put it out, and it's now my biggest hit to this day. It's got over 1 million plays. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, from that day onwards in 2018, around July, I started doing music production, working on like recording, sound engineering, etc. Now I do that. I fill in, I'm like freelance. I do this different studios around the country for work. But that's when I really started my solo drive, was from the inside torment I was feeling. It was my outlet, to say, to get rid of how I was feeling, how to express myself, because I don't really like talking to people. You know, I'd rather find a way creatively to let it out. So I did it that way. And I put the drums, I put the guitar and that on the back burner so I could focus more on the creation of the more contemporary music, the newer stuff. So I did that. So yeah, how's it progressed? It's progressed well. You know, I did good. I got that hit. I've had a few good songs come out. But now I'm in the midst of making another mixtape to really do my comeback, because I went on a hiatus because I had a motorcycle crash. And it's left my arm all broken. It's healing all right. It's 2 years down the line now. I've got another surgery in 18 months. But it's coming together well. And like, I just can't wait to put this new project out, because it's a real change in direction, you know. It's a real change in direction. It's multiple genres. You know, it's got the classic Uzi Rage style, the more sad XXXTentacion style, but also some pop punk mixed in there from my roots, you know, some metal stuff. You know, I just want someone to come to my music, listen to one thing, but have a whole discography of different genres so they can't get bored. Exactly. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you. I feel that humans are very weird, and I feel like I'm from another planet.
I feel like an alien.
I think I've been sent from my planet to this planet to go back to that planet to tell them exactly what not to do.
That's a great way of putting it. That's a wonderful way of putting it. Yeah.
For this new project you referenced, are you going to be playing your instruments again, like your guitar, your drums and so forth, or are you going to be focusing on other elements?
There's bits and pieces of that, but most of the time I do use a third-party producers who I work with for the songs, just to get that perfect twist on it. Because I'm more of a sound engineer, I'm more of the post. The guy who does the post, the EQ and other vocals, the mixing it all in together, and then the mastering. But I do use external producers to help me with the production. But I do have some friends in the band that I just played a gig with who came and played some guitar solos on one of the songs, which sounds really good, really good. I'm really impressed with it. I just can't wait for people to hear it.
I'm also looking forward to hearing it. So you referenced earlier that you use your songwriting as a way sort of to process things and for therapy. Besides that element, let's dive into a creative brain and creative world. How do you create music and what is that process?
My creative process is probably quite strange, actually. I don't necessarily write before I make the song. I will find a melody, catch the melody, catch it in time with the beat, fit it to the beat, then write the words to the melody I've come up with afterwards. Because I find if you write the lyrics first, then you're trying to fit the melody to the words and it doesn't have that same natural flow to it. If you do the melody first, you've already got that melody. You don't have to fit the words to it. Then you can fit the words on afterwards. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So my creative process, I really go in there with I might have a small idea of what I want it to come out like, but I will go in there with no clue what's going on. I'll just let the creativity take flow and take its own process on that. And then it's like an experiment every time, like playing with sound frequencies, it's sound frequency manipulation. It's a great way to just have fun in like a scientific way as such. I don't necessarily have a game plan.
Well, that's exactly that. Well, if you think of it, we're energy, sound is energy. So we should never actually have a game plan because we should all just be flowing with the energy all the time.
Exactly. That's why I don't like to write prior to the song.
So what's the rollout plan for this body of work? Are you going to be releasing singles? What's happening?
I do have a single coming out, which is off that track, which should be, hopefully, I'm going to put it for BBC Introducing. There's going to be a live performance coming out on video from the podcast I did recently. But the actual project is going to be coming out in July. It's got some summer bangers on there.
What do you enjoy about performing live?
What do I enjoy about performing live? Just the raw energy, man. If you're on the right performance and you're doing a good job of it, you get the crowd going, and that connection you have there just takes you away from everything around you. There's no problems. There's nothing. There's just that performance, and you feel a bit like a king as such. You know, we're not even a king. Yeah. Just like we're all kings. You're all enjoying it. We're all here. We've been taken out of our problems, out of our world, and given an element of someone else everyone can feel in touch with. Because that's what a lot of the projects I write. I write them in a way so people can relate to them.
So I'm that guy that's normally standing up right in front, dancing, jamming, doing my thing. I'll take my phone out and take a couple of videos, a couple of photos, and I'll put it away. I notice that the people around me, they oftentimes 70, 80%, 90% of the time videoing, posting, tweeting, photoing. From your perspective, being on the stage and seeing a bunch of phones, do you feel that takes away from the energy of the interaction with the audience and from them being in the moment? Or it's just where society is at this stage?
The people that are watching on their phone and recording the whole time, essentially they're not actually seeing a live show. They're watching it through a screen, just like they would at home. I think it really takes away that element. I think if you just all put the cell phone down, got off the internet and just sat there and just enjoyed the energy that was raw, you'd find it'd be more cathartic for people listening to it, man. They've actually been there, had the experience and felt it rather than busy texting, tweeting, live streaming, all that business. I think you need to put your phone down sometimes and really just appreciate what's in front of you. That's what I think.
So I love me a CD. I still budget for my CDs every month. I love the aesthetic of holding something, the journey of the choice, the journey of the unpacking, the booklet, the listening from song 1 to 10 or 15. I'm not sure if you're aware that CDs, even cassettes and vinyls are making a massive comeback. Vinyls alone last year in the UK, 5.9 million copies sold, the biggest since 1990. And cassettes and CDs are also on an upward trajectory. But we've also got these streaming platforms whereby people consume music on. What is your observation and perception of the landscape at the moment?
All right, the physical, you know, obviously a lot more money goes into the production of it, etc., etc. You also got more marketing that goes in. And but on the other hand, everyone involved is getting paid more money. You know, with the streaming, on the other hand, yeah, you get global reach, you get amazing exposure, but they are robbing the artists. They are literally robbing the artists, man. I had 1 million plays on a song. If I sold 1 million singles, I would not be getting 3,000. Do you know what I mean? I'd be getting a bit more. I'd put more into my promotion, more into my production, more into what I'm putting out. Pay the teams behind me correctly as well. Streaming, great. Don't get me wrong, amazing for exposure, but the marketplaces that distribute them, I think they are really running them dry because there's people who have massive hits, people who are huge in the industry, you know. Snoop Dogg made a joke the other day about getting 40 billion players and he got like $10,000
Yeah.
or $20,000. It was like, what?
Yeah.
It's bizarre because we put our time, we put our effort, we put our livelihood into this. Like I haven't really actually worked on a job my whole life. My whole thing has always been music. I've dedicated my waking moments of every day, lost relationships, lost friends, trying to pursue this journey. And then streaming is really like Metallica when they sued Napster. They did a good thing. I know people hated it back then, but when they did it for a reason because they didn't want this to happen, and now it's happened. You know, now, if you want to make a living as an artist, you're gonna have to sell merch. You're gonna have to sell all sorts of stuff, and only like 10% of the audience actually buy the merch. You know, so I think it's really good for the music industry in terms of exposure, but also really damaging for people who are trying to do it like properly.
So this is an interesting discussion because a lot of the fans out there don't even realize the situation. So I know this, and a lot of people know this, but a lot of the fans don't realize that, oh, you guys are making such a small amount for the streams. They think you guys are coining it and making so much money. So there's definitely a miseducation that's happening out there.
The rate is for every 1,000 streams you get $4, but it's not even that most of the time. If you sold 1,000 singles for £2 a piece, you're making £2,000. You get 1,000 plays, you're getting four. You know what I mean? You're getting $4. It doesn't add up. Where's the money going? Apparently, a conspiracy here. Apparently, the money that is made by the smaller artists actually is used to pay the bigger artists. But, you know, that's smoke and mirrors. I don't actually know.
I did see an article the other day that there's going to be a new bill coming through whereby, I'm not sure exactly what the law will be, but it will allow potentially artists to make more money. But this is what I saw. I'm not sure what the exact thing is, what the exact information is. So hopefully let's put it out there that you guys will be able to make more money.
Let's hope so. Because if they pass that bill, it'd be good. It'd be great. But is that going to mean everyone's subscription prices is going to go up? You know, there's always something coming up, and there's always a balance to be made.
You mentioned the album is coming out in July. So what are the next steps? What are the things happening thereafter?
Yeah, I want to get on the BBC Introducing. I was on BBC Introducing before. Other examples is getting onto a lot of different, what's it called? Forums. I want it on forums. I want to drop an EP in December that's completely different as well. Completely different. I want to get as much bookings in as possible. My manager will help me do with that. He's getting me a lot of these talks, a lot of these things where people can get to know me a bit, so see the artists behind the music.
Yeah.
But my plans are get this EP out, promote the hell out of it, get as many shows behind my belt as I can, be it big, be it small, and then promote. Actually, I might even promote it. I might just drop it out of nowhere like an Easter egg. Do you know what I mean? Something coming out late this year. It's going to be a lot more metal based, a lot more hard rock. Just something completely different to really throw people off. My plans as of now is to get as many shows in, get as big a reach I can, get as much promotion in, and get this mixtape out because people need to hear it. It's so different. It's so vast. It's amazing.
So is there going to be a name for this mixtape, or what is it actually going to be?
No, it's a mixtape. I wouldn't say I put an album out first. I think your debut album is a big thing. And I don't know if I want to do that before I'm signed away. It's a mixtape just because it's not an EP because it's got more than 4 tracks. It's got 8. So it's a mixtape.
Okay.
Yeah, the actual name of it is Mrs. Sold Out Dates. Yeah, 2 to 4 is an EP. Longer than that is an album. But if you don't want to make it official, it's a mixtape.
So you mentioned earlier that you're going to be mixing with the frequency or the energy of the music, and you're going to be doing different types of genres. So when you go into the studio, do you know what genre you're going to be playing or creating, or is it just a free flow from there?
As it flows, I do it all in-house though. So, you know, I do everything. I record it myself. I do it all in-house. So it's whatever flows. If I work with someone like a beat, I could come up with just some patterns in my head like da-da-da-ba-da-da-ba-da-da-ba, and then go back down, write it to the words da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, and then go write some words. I don't want to be that guy. I just want to, and you know what I mean? It's like that. It's that type of flow, you know. And there's certain genres because I like to test myself. There's certain genres which are very quite intricate and out there. You know, might not be out there to the average person. But I've done a couple country songs, man. It's just so different for me. It's so like wow. Got to really change my cadence here. Got to really bring it down. Really change the notation.
Yes.
Change the flutters. Change the vibrato. You know, it's like that.
So when you're listening to songs by other artists, are you able to just relax and listen to the songs and take them for what they are? Or is your technical brain unpacking what you're listening to?
I can't sit and relax and listen to music because of the music production. I'm hearing where they're panning it, hearing the reverb, hearing the left, the right, hearing the way he's singing it. What is it? Is that a 6? All right, that's the 4/4. All right, that's a 12/8 now. That's my brain is constantly boom, 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 boom. So people who sit and listen to music to relax, I am the complete opposite. I'm there analyzing it constantly, subconscious or awake. I'm constantly like, that was cool. I might do something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's very hard to turn it off. It never turns off, you know.
Yeah, got you. What do you do to relax?
I don't often relax. I like to always be working or in the gym or doing Muay Thai fighting. When I'm relaxing, I'm usually asleep. My brain is 110% all the time. I can't stop. I can't stop. Otherwise, I feel like I'm wasting hours. And that is the most unforgiving feeling. Most unforgiving feeling for me is that, you know, I went through a long phase of substance abuse for 4 years and I've come out the other side of it. And I want to take advantage of all time that I have, you know?
Yeah.
Like that losing 4 years of your life that you don't remember is such a bewildering feeling. And, you know, you lose emotions and when they all come back, it like floods you. So that's why I took a bit of a hiatus, but, you know, 2 years clean now, bro. It's like, shit, what have I done? Where was my time? You know what I mean? And now I want to just grab it now and just, because I had opportunities before, but I thought they were just, everything would just come to me because I was like, oh, I got 1 million players. It's all going to come to me.
Okay.
Bro, Joe Schmo's got 1 million. Joe Schmo's got 1 million players because everybody's got a record studio in their bedroom now. Do you know what I mean? Easy to do. And if you want to be the best, you've got to prove yourself the best and be dedicated to every second of the day you have.
I love this game. I know if I had to ask you this question in 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 8 years, I know your answer will be different every time because there are millions of them. I recognize that and I understand that. I'm not saying favorite, I'm saying top of mind. But if you had to push play to 5 songs by other artists once we finish this conversation, what would those 5 songs be and by whom?
Lil Uzi Vert, probably just EXO Tour Life. I know that's generic as all hell, but it's a really good song. Also Metallica, Unforgiven, Slipknot, Gematria, Young Thug, Best Friend, and XXXTentacion. Probably, I want to say Ayala. Ayala, his last song on the EP. It's just a piano acoustic instrumental. So yeah, I like that.
So the podcast is listened to throughout the world. So as a final message, what would you like to say?
I'd like to say thank you for having me on here, and to all of you listening, wait until July for Mrs. Sold Out Dates, and go check out Dante Sklaw on all digital platforms, Instagram and Twitter.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Celeb Savant. Please follow Barrett on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook at Celeb Savant. That's CelebSavant.